on the fun. When the stars are no longer shining, Jules and Julie never give in. The twins of destiny keep smiling.
Jules and Julie, the twins of destiny, have been traveling across France since the death of their adoptive father, Captain Tournier. On their way to Marseille, they board a boat which takes them down the Rhone. However, they are taken hostage on board by Maxime, a fugitive from justice who is attempting to escape from a pursuing police boat. In the meantime, in Marseille, Martin and Charles have at last found out from Paulette that the eunuchs are living in the house next door, and they go to work on a plan to give them the slip. With the help of actors who dress up in their clothes, they are able to get away to find a new hiding place where the eunuchs will not be able to find them. At the same time, using their power, Jules and Julie discover that Maxime is innocent and decide to help him. They summon up a thick fog which surrounds the boats and allows Maxime to escape from the police. You'll see you're in for a surprise. Avignon is unlike any other French town.
Our father once told us that the Pope lived here many years ago.
Yes, that's quite right. They lasted 70 years, in the 14th century to be exact. They called Avignon the city of the Pope.
I wish we had more than 4 hours here. We'd have time to visit everything. Wouldn't we, Leopold?
Oh, don't worry too much. We'll at least have time to see the palace of the popes and go for a walk in the town and have a picnic in the Rocher de Dom Park.
Look, isn't it lovely here?
I told you it was pretty.
And it's all ours to enjoy today. 4 whole hours, it'll be wonderful.
I've been looking for you for some time now, Professor. I thought this basket should be absolutely perfect for our little picnic this afternoon.
Ah, yes, it looks exactly the thing for the picnic. And I'll bring along a blanket so you can sit down without catching cold.
Don't you think it's a beautiful day for taking a walk and having a picnic, Jules?
Yes, of course. A beautiful day, Elizabeth.
I especially wanted to go out so I could be with you.
Yes, well, that's just what Julie was saying to me. Isn't that right, Julie? Weren't you saying that? Julie?
Yes, that's right. Would you believe I was just thinking, too, that it was an absolutely ideal day to go out and have a picnic.
But where are you going, Julie?
Up to the pilot's cabin. Captain Aubrey told me I could go upstairs and have a look when we arrived in the Avignon area.
Oh, all right. See you later then, Julie. Do you know where to find me?
It would be a good idea if we took our parasols, my dear.
You're right, Mother. It's bound to get very hot later on. See you later, Jules.
See you later, Elizabeth. Julie isn't normally like that. I'm sorry, Professor. I don't know what's up with her.
It's not important.
Then why was Elizabeth smiling like that?
Believe me, my boy, I've learned that it's usually better not to try and understand women.
Sometimes they do seem to act very strangely.
Perhaps, but they're so pretty.
I've been sailing up and down this river for so many years, I'll bet I could do it blindfolded without once touching a sandbank.
That's very nice, Captain.
You're not listening to a word I say. What are you thinking about?
Nothing special. It's just that it's a very long journey for us. Jules has been doing his best to protect me from all sorts of enemies for so long that I've rather got used to having him give me all his attention.
He seems like a fine young man to me. That's all I can really say about him. He told me what you had to put up with in the mines at Monceau and Le Creusot, and it must be terribly difficult not to have a family to go back to anymore.
Yes, it can be difficult. I'll be very happy when we sail into Marseille.
Well, we don't exactly stop at Marseille. Our stopping point is Port St. Louis. To get in from there, we have to go on a ferry.
Oh, I thought we went into Marseille.
It's not a lot further from there. Even I'll be going into Marseille to see my sister. She already knows I'm coming, I think.
Oh, that'll be nice. We can go there together.
So your friends won't be waiting on the docks at Port St. Louis?
Oh, no. They said to go and meet them at the Café du Port. It's a famous place in Marseille. Do you know where it is?
Yes, of course. It's not very far from my sister's house. We can take a carriage, and I'll drop you off on the way there.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Captain.
Captain, I'm sorry to interrupt you like this, but we seem to be having a bit of a problem with one of the main...
Carnival! You better not ever sneak up on me again like that. Understand me, sailor?
I'm sorry, Captain. How are you today, miss?
Very well, thank you, Mr. Terrible. I think I'll go down on deck and watch the boat mooring. Perhaps I will go on that picnic after all. See you later.
What did you say about a problem, Mr. Taraval?
One of the bilge pumps is broken, and we're taking on a bit of water, sir.
Is it serious?
No, not too bad. We can get it fixed in Avignon.
Very good.
I didn't know you had a sister in Marseille, sir. In fact, didn't you tell me you were an only child?
Mr. Taraval, you would do better to concern yourself with a bilge pump rather than with my private life. I can't stand nosiness. If you checked the pumps thoroughly like you were supposed to before we left port in Lyon, then we wouldn't have this trouble at the moment.
Yes, Captain.
Right. Now go down to the deck and prepare the boat for mooring. Move yourself.
Aye, aye, Captain.
There isn't usually much call for this sort of work around here, you know.
Gaspard told me you were the best blacksmith in all of Lyon, and also the most discreet.
That's as may be, but your order needs a lot of work and not much time to do it in.
I trust you are satisfied with the price we agreed on for the work?
Yeah, but so far I've only seen half of it. I think you're gonna like the job I've done for you. Let's have your arm, then. And now, to make your life a little bit easier. There.
An excellent job. Where's the rest of it?
Come and see for yourself. Made with the finest tempered steel.
Very good work, blacksmith. Congratulations.
Avignon was a major commercial city long before the Romans came to France, and it almost became the capital in 1309 when Philippe le Bel was able to persuade Pope Clement V to move the papacy away from Rome and come to Avignon instead.
Leopold,
Yes?
why did the popes leave Rome?
Most importantly, for their own security. You see, there were great battles between the noble families of Italy at that time, and also because Pope Clement V was French by birth, he was rather homesick.
The Pont Saint-Benazet must have been a beautiful bridge once, but I'm glad I wasn't on it when it collapsed.
Et voila, the famous Pont d'Avignon. The missing part was actually washed away by a flood in the 17th century, but there were so many legends about it, no one seems to remember the true story.
All this visiting is starting to make me hungry. Can we stop for our picnic now? I'm bored.
Have a little patience, Elizabeth. Wait till we get to the Rocher des Doms Park. It's not much further.
What a wonderful view down over the river, Jules. Jules, come and have a look. Come and see, Jules, over here. Jules! Come and help me with this tablecloth. I can't manage to put it down. Hurry up, I need your help. Do be a gentleman, Jules.
Excuse me, but I'm busy now. Julie and I are looking at the lovely view.
It was a good idea to have a picnic.
Yes, you're right, it was. It's been very interesting, but you know, we have just as much fun on our own sometimes, away from all the others.
Jules, I think you're starting to get the idea.
Elizabeth, come and help me, my dear.
Why don't you ask Jules?
Leave Jules in peace and help me to lay this tablecloth. Please don't argue.
Ha! That Julie thinks she's so clever. I'll soon show her. Ah!
Look at Elizabeth. I think she must be having some trouble with that tablecloth of hers.
Perhaps you ought to go over and help her. That's sure to make her happy.
Will you be cross if I do?
Not in the slightest.
Hold on, Elizabeth, coming!
And you say you're a friend of Jules and Julie Tournier's?
Yes, Captain. I'm glad I found you now. I spent most of the morning trying to find which boat they were arriving on. You see, I'm an old friend of the family, and I'm most impatient to see them again.
But you're not the man who's supposed to be meeting them in Marseille, are you?
No, I'm not. I suppose you must mean Martin Garçon, a most charming young man.
So, you are Chinese?
That's right, Captain, and I have a message to deliver to them from a friend.
Oh, yes. Let me see it, then.
I'm very sorry, Captain, but it's an extremely personal message. I haven't even read it myself.
Their tickets are paid all the way to Marseille. I hope you're not taking them off the boat. I won't refund their money for the last stage if you do.
Oh, no, Captain. I've only come to deliver a message. After I've done that, I shall immediately continue my journey to Paris.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I don't know where they are at the moment.
Oh, that's all right. I understand perfectly. It's not your job to keep an eye on the passengers while they're on dry land. But if you could remember something about where they are, I would be happy to give you this for your kindness.
I do seem to remember they said something about a little picnic.
What an excellent memory you have, Captain, considering all the worries hanging over you. And where exactly are they going for it?
To the Rocher des Dames. There's a park up there which overlooks the countryside.
Perfect, with my profound thanks, Captain.
Tell them not to come back late. If they do, the boat won't wait for them. Is the repair almost finished, Taraval?
No, it'll take another hour and a half or so.
I'll leave you in charge while I go ashore for a few minutes.
Very good, Captain.
Can you read that back to me?
Yes, sir. Arrive Marseille tomorrow, 2 packets for you from Aubrey. Oh, you're in luck, sir. There'll be an express train leaving for Marseille in 15 minutes. It'll be departing from platform number 3.
No, you won't be taking this train.
Who said that?
I did.
Sabatier, the magician.
You know, you never got to see the full power of my magic, T-Ben. If you attempt to go on following the twins, you will be cursed forever.
I've already been cursed forever.
That is merely the price which you paid for murdering my horse Corbeau. If you give up following the twins, then we'll call it quits.
You old fool, you're no match for a man like me. Now prepare to die. Come back, you coward!
Come and find me if you have the courage.
Where are you hiding?
Over here! Over here! Hurry up now!
This is a matter between you and me only, T-Ben. There's no point in anyone else getting hurt.
That's right, Sabatier. But now you're gonna die. You see, your magic is powerless against hard steel, and now you're gonna regret the challenge you made. Yeah. You poor fool, you try to fight me with flowers. Have you lost your mind?
we shall both die together!
No, magician! Only one of us will die!
So you were right after all, T-Ben. Only one of us did die in the end. Now the twins can travel on in peace. At least, I hope so.
I compliment you, madame. The meal was most excellent.
Oh, Professor, all I did was choose the food, I'm afraid.
Well, in that case, may I compliment you on your excellent choice?
Thank you.
We've got a bit of time left. I'd love to pay a visit to the park. Do you want to come? No, there's nothing in the park but some boring flowers. I want to go and have a look at the shops.
I'm sure we'll have no trouble finding you a lovely, pretty dress in Avignon, my dear.
Jules, you've got such good taste. Will you come and help me choose one?
Oh, I'm afraid I can't. I'm visiting the park with Julie. I did promise her.
I do hope the professor would like to come to the shops with us instead. Well, Professor, will you come shopping?
Or if you'd prefer to come with us, we'd be very happy too.
In that case, thank you, Jules. I believe I will accept. Please excuse me, madame, but I must say I'm not really a great shopper.
I don't know why she's laughing. Come on, Mummy. We'll go shopping on our own.
Well then, you two, let's not waste time. The parks await us.
Would you help me, monsieur?
But, of course, mademoiselle.
Have you been to China before, Professor Leopold?
Yes, before the Boxer Rising. It was all different then, although the Chinese are still fond of courtroom politics. I hear that simply being a foreigner there is quite a dangerous business now.
And I hear the Empress Dowager is a cruel woman, is she?
Apparently. She runs the country with an iron fist, but she's also very sly, and she knows how to set her enemies against each other. Some people even say it's her speciality, in fact. You see, I think the problem with China is that there are too many poor and unhappy people outside the court and the mandarins. In fact, they say there may well be another rebellion again.
Maybe I can dispose of one possible rebel.
Oh, but I don't understand.
In that case, ask them to explain it to you in the next life.
But I have no intention of dying here and now. Stay behind me, children, and enjoy a fine fencing lesson.
We ought to help him with our power.
Leopold's too close to that monster. We can't control our power well enough yet. We might injure him as well.
But we can't let him get himself killed for us.
An aggressive opponent, the best sort. And parry. The parry is a basic principle of fencing which allows one to swiftly fend off the attack. Hup. Hup. Principle 2. Now is the moment for me to thrust back at him. In other words, to attack.
It doesn't look like our professor is going to need our magic power after all, Julie.
In fencing, it's not strength, but style that counts. Also elegance. Hup. And finally, to finish off the counter. When one's opponent believes he has gained the upper hand and makes an attack, one simply forces him back, then advances on the opponent who is now defenseless. Come on, just a little further back. I don't think it's very polite to attack two poor, defenseless little children, you see. One last little step. Et voila, the lesson is over.
Bravo, Leopold!
Elementary, my dear children, elementary.
Professor Leopold, we owe you a big thank you.
Oh, no, I ought to be the one to thank you two. I don't remember having had as much fun as that for years. I've got a little surprise for you.
What, a real surprise?
Yes, Julie, I think we still have a little while left before we have to go back to the boat.
What sort of surprise would that be, Professor?
Now, that would be telling. You'll have to wait until the sun goes down.
The sun's going down, Professor, so where's the surprise?
Patience, Jules. You have to learn to wait.
To wait? I've done nothing but wait. You made me wait in the coach for over an hour while you and Julie both went off somewhere on your own. It's not fair because you two already know what the surprise is and I don't.
Here's the surprise now.
But Julie...
Do you like it?
Oh, yes, it's beautiful. You look lovely.
I'll leave you now if you'll excuse me.
And thank you again.
That's all right. Enjoy the sunset now.
Thank you.
Will you allow me to take your hand?
With great pleasure, dear sir.
Thanks to Professor Ledoux, Jules and Julie can now complete their journey to Marseille on board Captain Aubrey's boat. Will they finally manage to meet up with Martin Garçon and Xiao Kao and sail for China? Make sure you don't miss the next part of their adventures.
When the world is no longer fun, when the stars are no longer shining, Jules and Julie never give in.
Destiny in their desperate